Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to LCR Legacy Championship Racing for round number 5, I believe, here in LCR. Here at the Portuguese Grand Prix, round number 4, sorry. My apologies there. We've had Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Australia. 3 different race winners in 3 different circuits, hopefully, to try and make it 4 out of 4. PSR Jish also on your commentary booth once today, not on my webcam today. I have had a little bit of issues tonight, so I decided to not to run with it tonight. But let's get into the action then. Portimao, LCR Leopard, our last winner in season 10 with a lap record going to Davidson 117.694, played host to the finale of season 10, and it's great to be back once again 5 races later. If we look up towards the standings as well, it is Scather leading the way, but FRT Tom equal on points, the 2. PSR Scather now, as he is now known, massive congratulations to him, leading the way with Tom in P2, with PSR Fern in P3, Bourbon Boy in P4, Maloney in P5, Leopard in P6, VSR Square in 7th, with Timus Amazed in 8th, Reclusive in 9th, and ETJT in 10th. Moving on to the team standings, and the top three look like this. Alpine leading the way once again with AlphaTauri in P2 and Red Bull P3, but closing in to their sister team, but only by 1 point in the esports standings. Aside, it is PSR Esports still leading the way. Eurotitans Esports in P2 and Future Racing Team in P3, and we are ready to go for the race today. Unfortunately, again, we have to commentate over low numbers again. Hopefully, it does get sorted out. We did have 13 tick today, but only 9 will be participating tonight. It is a real shame, but it is what it is sometimes. And we will still continue to bring you the action as VSR Squared does make his return after a couple of races out, as he has been doing some real life racing, which he's been absolutely smashing over in the Middle East. So massive congratulations to him on his drive, and I know he's been smashing it all the way through. As we just look over on the track map here, it is going to be one of the Alfa Romeos. I believe it is Frank across the line. Yes, it will be to start his first flying lap here in Portugal, up in towards turn 1. A long back straight coming up towards as you come in towards turn 1. Big braking zones. You hit onto the 50 meter board. 6th gear action through and towards the right, a little bit wide there. And he has decided to abandon his lap there. So it will be F1 Ben making his return to LCR on the intermediate compound tyre. So it will not be a decent lap. TMS and Maze also out there on the intermediates, just getting a feel for the track. PSR Fern out there as well in towards sector 1 he goes, and flying towards the next right-hander. 22.054 in the first sector split, not bad at all. Flying through the left-hander 3rd gear up into 4th, through into 5th, 6th gear up in towards P7 and down in towards the double right-hander, the trickiest corner of the circuits. You hit in towards 4th gear, up in towards 5th, up to 6th, through in towards 7th. Flying past through the next left-hander as you hit another double right, 3rd gear action up into 4th. That's a little bit of F1 Ben out of the way, and I'm sure Fern will not be happy with that. F1 Ben just could not see him there and did not get out of the way in time. Fern, I think, will try and keep this lap going either way as he comes towards the final couple of corners, which will be the legitimate first run here in qualifying, and it will not be now as it is invalidated. VSR Square on the medians, 21.997 in the first sector split, so he is purple and just a couple of thousandths quicker than Fern there. Franek goes pole with a 32.189, but not a respectable lap as he did back off in towards turn 1. VSR Square still on a lap as he comes through the next left-hander, up to 5th, down to 4th, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, up into 5th. A triple shift up for the traction, goes a little bit wide but gets away with it, and will get the slipstream from his teammate Escala coming towards the back straight. DRS wide open once again for the Alpine, and across the line he comes to do a 16.810. Not a bad lap time at all. PSR Fern on that invalidation once again, actually a double invalidation for him, which was very unlucky there. Scather also on a lap there, flying towards the right, in towards the left once again, up to 6th, through in towards 7th, through in towards 8th, now not quite hitting 8th as you come in towards the next left-hander. It is purple in sector 1, so he's on a good lap so far as he flies towards sector 2 once again. 7th gear action through in towards the double rights of 4th gear, and now up in towards 5th gear, up in towards 6th, through in towards 7th, now flying through the left as you come in towards the next right once again. 5th gear action down into 4th, up towards 5th for the traction, through in towards 6th, through in towards 7th, not quite hitting 7th, there is 7th once again, flying through the left. 3rd gear action up into 4th for the traction, through into 5th, almost hitting 5th but not quite hitting 5th there as you come in towards the next right once again for 6th, in towards 7th, and up in towards 8th. He goes almost hitting 8th. There is 8th gear at the start, DRS wide open, and it is pole position with that 16.551. And a brilliant out in there, and Alpine leading the way 1-2 once again, but unfortunately is the 9 we see so far. And I think the only 9 we will see. Maloney also on a lap right now, flying towards the final couple of corners of this Portuguese circuit, flying towards the final corner. 7th gear action, flying up towards the DRS straight and across the line to do a 17.1 17.857. As the times tumble away once again, Pearson once again on an invalidated lap. Tom also on a lap in sector 2, sorry, just entering now 5th gear, up in towards 6th, through into 7th, up in towards 8th, not quite hitting 8th. 4th gear action up into 5th, through into 6th, up in towards 7th once again, hitting 7th, almost flying through the left and in towards the double right. 5th gear action up in towards 6th once again, through in towards 7th, down in towards the next left-hander. 3rd sector now, 4th gear action once again for the AlphaTauri driver. Rounding the final corner comes him and he goes very, very wide there. And that is an invalidation for Tom. Not what he wanted for this first qualifying run. And it would have been not a bad lap time at all, 16.724, which would have put him P2 there, really in the mix with Scather and Square. They're going to try and stop him there, but didn't seem to pull out there. And it will be that double invalidation for him, so he can't get another run in time. That's your first couple of runs done as Fern still not able to set a good lap, well, a valid lap, which is to be. TMS Amazed also on the medium compound of tyres as well. Sorry, everyone, a couple of mic issues there as Team SMA is coming towards the right-hander of the double 2. 2nd gear action up in towards 3rd, through in towards 4th, almost hitting 4th there. There is 4th, through in towards the left once again. 5th gear action up into 7th. DRS wide open, 21.827, quickest sector 1 we've seen so far, all the way down into 1st gear action. 3rd gear up into 4th, through into 5th, through into 6th once again. Hitting 7th through towards the double right. 3rd gear, flying towards 4th. And up in towards 5th, through into 6th, through into 7th. Flying towards the next left, in towards 7th. 4th gear, through the double right. 4th, up in towards 5th, through into 6th. Another sector 2 purple with a 51.568. Through in towards 2nd gear, up in towards 4th once again. Through into 5th, down to 4th, down to 3rd. Almost hitting 2nd. Up in towards 4th for the traction. And does not go wide through there. So it will be a valid lap for TMS Amazing. It's looking like a pretty decent one. Flying towards the line now. DRS wide open for Maze. And it is pole position to 16.533. And goes 17 thousandths quicker than Scabber there. Very, very tight margins as PSR Fern lost across the line now to start his 5th flying lap in total, as Era Frantic went very, very wide there, causing those yellow flags in sector 2. But it is right now TMS Amazed, the first man on track so far, and hitting those purple lap times and getting the job done in P1, but only by 17 thousandths so far. Right now, really hitting the pace going so far is TMS Amazed. As VSR Square also checking his times for the soft compound of tyres. In towards turn 3 now. 1st gear action up in towards 3rd. Through towards the left once again. 5th gear action through in towards 6th. DRS right in front of him, and he is 3/10 up on his time so far, looking pretty decent in towards sector 1 and in towards the double right once again. 7th gear action and a big braking zone as you enter in towards the first right. 4th gear up in towards 5th, through in towards 6th, through into 7th. Flying through the left and in towards the right hander. 3rd gear action up in towards 4th, through in towards 5th. And he is once again 6/10 up in towards sector 2. Through in towards the left. Third gear action up into 4th. Flying towards 5th gear. Down in towards the next right-hander once again as you head in towards the final corner now. Takes it very, very nicely. Does VSR square and rounding the final corner now as F1 Ben actually spinning in towards turn 1. Square across the line to do a 15.920 and about just under 9/10 of an improvement on his lap there. But puts it in pole position nevertheless by about 6/10 clear to TMS Amaze there. And it is about 6/10, just a little bit more. As Fern once again not getting to grips with the track either. 6 laps he's done and all 6 have been invalidations. So not the start he's really wanted, but still getting it there anyway. Maloney also going slowly as F1 Ben once again not one to doing very well, and he's actually lost his front wing there, has Ben. And once again not the start he's wanted to his return in LCR. So he's going to have to go again with 5 minutes left in the session. Only his intermediate time counted once again, and so is Fern. Really, really struggling. 7 laps he's done, and all 7 have been all invalidations. F1 Ben coming towards the line now to try get back in towards the pits. Scather on his outlap right now, trying to go a little bit quicker. Man, his time so far as he comes towards the line now. DRS wide open for the Alpine. And towards turn 1 he goes through in towards the right of 6th gear action. Flying towards 7th gear, not quite hitting 7th. And towards turn 3 he goes. And towards the right, flick of the wrist for the left. DRS wide open on the straightaway. He's just under 2.5 up there, but it is purple so far, and we'll put him in towards P2 nevertheless. And in towards the second round, a little bit of a correction of the wheels. The back end just got away from them there. Coming towards the uphill section, downhill towards the next left 7th gear action. And flying towards another double right-hander. Another wobble. 5/10 up so far, so it's looking good for Scudder to try and snatch this pole position away from Square. He's going to have to try and find something in towards the final sector. If he wants to try and snatch pole, he needs about a couple of thousandths, couple of hundredths even to try and snatch pole away from Square, maybe even a 10th. We're doing well and across the final corner now. Hug towards the line, and it is pole position 15.857. And once again, it is Alpine leading the way with that 1-2. 62 thousandths separate the top 2 so far of Scather and Square. So really, really good lap times being thrown either way. As Maloney's also on his lap with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this qualifying session. As Maloney also on his lap as well alongside TMS and Maze. Again on the medium, so not trying the softs. It is only Scather, Square and Franek who have elected for the soft compound tyres so far in this qualifying session. And in towards the final corner comes TMS Amaze, rounding the final corner. And across the line he comes to start his first flying lap here in qualifying. And in towards the right-hander he goes. Big braking zone as you hit in towards turn 1, 6th gear action. In towards 7th gear. Down in towards 3rd, in towards 2nd, in towards 3rd. Through into 4th, through into 5th, through in towards 6th. Once again, a couple of microphone issues as Team SMA's only improves by about a tenth of a second there, 16.418. Goes McLaren driver and stays P3. Square on and out. That Scather will not go for one more. He is stuck in the pit lane as Tom also on a lap alongside Bourbon Boy in sector 2. And flying towards the double right comes the Red Bull driver, yet to set a lap time. The race winner from Australia trying to bounce back as Fern retires in the pit lane. Could not get a lap together on his 8 soft running attempts. And flying towards the final corner, 40 seconds left in this qualifying session. Bourbon Boy across the line, DRS wide open there. And goes P4 with that 16.437, just about challenging Team SMA's there, but a good lap. Either way, F1 Ben invalidating and will not get a good lap away. There's also Square trying up now. 19,000 for an improvement in sector 1. It's going to be tight with Scather so far if he keeps this up. 10 seconds left in qualifying. Maloney also out there, 33 thousandths down. Franek is out there, but he's half a tenth now down, 3 tenths down, and that is qualifying over. Checkered flag is out. Scather will not get another run at it. As who's next to the 2 McLarens as Maloney decides to back out. Team SMA's backs out as well. Here are Franek not on a good lap time so far, and across the line he goes, and he knows it. And does not improve. Bourbon Boy decides to back out. VSR Square on a lap time right now. This is the one we're looking for, and he's 2 tenths up in sector 2. Looking like pole position right now. DRS wide open for Square, and across the line he goes. And it is pole position for Square. Back to winning ways once again by about a tenth and a bit to his teammate Scather, who is in P2. FRT Tom also on a lap right now. 3 seconds up in towards sector 2 as he comes towards sector 3 now. Where can he put that AlphaTauri car as he comes towards the line now? DRS wide open, stays P7 with that 17.021, but it is VSR Square on pole position once again for Alpine, with Scather in P2, Team SMA's in P3, Bourbon Boy in P4, Maloney in 5th, Franek in 6th, Tom in 7th, F1 Ben in 8th, and Fern at the back of the field in P9. So there is confirmation then. Square on pole position with Scather in P2 by about 1/2 tenths of a second. There, 120 thousandths of a second with Team SMA's in P3, Bourbon Boy in P4, Maloney in 5th with Franek in 6th, Tom in 7th with F1 Ben in 8th, and Fern at the back of the field in P9 as we get ready for the race. So if you are just joining us, we'll run you through the grid for today. Only 9 drivers with us tonight, but it is Square on pole position with Scather in P2, Amazed in P3 with Bourbon Boy in P4, Maloney in 5th with Franek in P6, Tom in P7 with F1 Ben in P8, PSR Fern in 9th, and that is your grid. No one else lower than 9th as well. So I was looking to try and see if there was a 10th driver in there, but I wasn't. As we were supposed to have 11 tonight ticks, but no one deciding to show up, which is a definite shame, but that is the way it is running sometimes. We get ready to go for the race anyway with 9 drivers here tonight, and we will be with you shortly. So here we go on the formation lap. Square leads them away, not a lot to talk about here. Square leads them away in P1. Scather in P2 as F1 bent, not wasting any time to try and get this formation lap going. Scather in P2, Amazed in P3, Bourbon Boy in P4, Maloney in P5, Franick in P6 with Tom in P7, F1 Ben in P8. And Fern at the back of the field in P9. As we'll let them go for their formation lap, and we will see you on the grid in a couple of moments' time. So here we are on the field now. Scather lining up in P2 with Square in P1. Square sits in towards pole position. We are ready to go for the Portuguese Grand Prix. One lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. Red turns to green. Let's go, 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 go. And it is a poor start for Square there. And Scather already gets the job done. Heading towards the first stages as Scather leads in towards turn 1 of Square in P2. TMS Amazed in P3. Still with Ballin' Boy in P4. Maloney in P5. F1 Ben having a good start. Up towards P6 alongside Fern in P7. Tom battling away in P8, getting a little bit of a love tap there as Franek gets the job done up in towards P8. It's been a shocker for Tom there as Fern trying to switch back move on F1 Ben there, can't get it done, but Squather with a brilliant start there up in towards the first stages. Square did not get away well, and it is Scather who leads in towards turn 1 with a Square in P2. TMS Amazed in P3 with Bourbon Boy in P4. Maloney in P5 with F1 Ben in P6. Fern in 7th with Era Franek in P8. Tom in P9 at the back of the field. As Scather now tries to bolt away as quickly as he can. And through the final corner he goes for the Alpine. Across the line he comes to set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and after lap 1 it is Scather who leads 20.260 Square in P2, trying to battle with his Alpine teammate TMS Amazed in P3 with Bourbon Boy in P4 Maloney, in P5, with F1 Ben, in P6 PSR Fern, in P7 Nira Frenick, in P8 and Tom at the back of the field. And Scarlett still continues to pull away as best as he can, with Square just behind him. Scarlett trying his best to catch up there as we come towards Sector 3 now. It is purple for him, but will he get that purple sector times as we start the final couple of corners there? Square really hunting him down, but can't really do a lot as seems to be the strongest. Sector is through in towards Sector 3 as Amaze now only as broken away from TMS from Square there. 1.2 of a gap there, so he's not been fairly quick as Scarlett does keep that fast up 18.834 as DRS is now enabled for the first time this race. Scarlett tries to bolt away best he can, flying towards the right fourth direction and flicking the rest through and towards the left in fifth on towards the curb and tries to get away, but Square will have to DRS this run around. To come towards the right once again, still pushing away through in towards the right as Scarlett still pushing away through in towards the right, up in towards fourth, through in towards fifth, through in towards sixth, through in towards seventh, and up in towards eighth once again, through in towards fifth, through in towards sixth there, flying through the left. Square trying his best to keep up this advantage. They come towards the left-hander and in towards the final sector they go. 30 laps still remain as they come towards the right once again, through in towards the final corner now comes Scarlett with Square just behind, but Square could be making this job done with the DRS in usage down this back straight. And towards turn one they go, still Square almost pushing him through and towards turn one, but can't get the job done this time around as they fly towards sector one once again, and in towards the left-hander they go, still pushing away is Square, and there goes Square down the inside, gets the job done. Scarlett tries a switchback move, but nothing he could do, and Square is up in towards P1. Pole Man gets the job done once again, and he's up in towards the lead of this Grand Prix. And now Scarlett has to try and push as quick as he can on Square now with TMS Amaze in P3. 1.2 behind us. Scarlett still maybe pushing a little bit too hard on those first 4 laps, and Square is getting away. Ural Frenick with the first penalty of the day. As he will fly around the final corner now. Scarlett with the run he may need. Square does have the good ERS though, 63%. Plays to Scabbers 40. As they come in towards turn one now, flying towards turn one they go. Scarlett trying to push his way as best as he can. And flying towards the right, in towards 4th gear, up in towards 5th. Once again flying through the right as Tom gets the job done on Frenick for P7. And Frenick now demoted to the penultimate last field on the race, as Fernand's not having the greatest of races either, pitting early. And to P9 he goes. As Scarlett trying his best to keep up with Square there, but not a lot he can do at the moment, as it is fairly hard to overtake around the middle parts of Sector 2 and Sector 3. Flying towards the right they go. Still pushing away is Scarlett here. And towards the final corner they go, and Scarlett still pushing away